Jillian, Patrick, on the way back. All right, so I'm going to introduce myself. I am Troy. Are we ready to go, Elliot?
Yeah, good.
Thumbs up? All right. For Matt and Paul, who are remote, you guys are familiar with the drill. Let's get started. So this is Spins. This is our care event. And you're going to get some little preface stuff here at first. So, all right. Save questions for the end, please. All right, part one, a software carol. It was a dark and stormy night. Uncle Scourge had just sat down after a 16-hour day to write more requirements documents. But then there was a rap on the door. Oh my goodness, it must be the ghost of Marley. And since I wasn't wanting to subject you to my Bob Marley impersonation, I will be doing the voice from Marley. Scourge, why you be developing the wrong way? I don't believe in poor impressions of a dog that can't talk. Ruby visited by 4 ghosts now. As Marley disappeared, Scourge thought to himself, humbug. But, as Marley promised, the first ghost entered. I am the ghost of Agatha Christie. I don't believe in Agatha Christie, humbug. Listen well, Scourge, you have little time to do product development differently. In my book, Destination Unknown, Dr. Barron gives the following admonition. One must have common sense. Nothing is permanent. Nothing endures. I have come to the conclusion that this place is run by a madman. A madman, let me tell you, can be very logical. If you're rich and logical, and also mad, you can succeed for a very long time in living out your illusion. But in the end, this will break up. Because you see, it's not reasonable what happens here. That which is not reasonable must always pay the reckoning in the end. And just like that, she disappeared. I don't believe in Agatha Christie, humbug. Then there was another rap on the door. Oh, it was the ghost of Voltaire. Common sense is not so common. Then he disappeared. And then there was another rap on the door. It was the ghost of Oscar Wilde. Nowadays, most people die of a sort of creeping common sense and discover when it's too late that the only thing one never regrets are one's mistakes. Humbug, Scourge thought. But sweet Kate, dude. Thanks. Then he disappeared. And as Marley predicted, a fourth rap on the door. It was the ghost of Kay. Margaret Molly Kay. Kay. Common sense will nearly always stand you in better stead than a slavish adherence to conventions. Then poof, she was gone. Humbug. I know how to do development. Less than 10x coders. Find people who can work 16 to 18-hour days. And weekends. Give your rock stars whatever they need. I saw The Social Network. It's all about late-night hackathons. Dudes so wired in they may need headphones to drown out the world. It may be a mess, but if you don't say the magic word, you'll never hack the Gibson. In fact, these principles have stood me well. Picture it, Silicon Valley, 1999. Stockmaster. I was employee number 8 and led product and engineering and grew the team to more than 75. We completely crushed it. Sure, a lot of people couldn't hack it. Machines are built to spit out people if they don't fit. For those rock star, ninja, warrior heroes who'd survived the gauntlet came the spoils. Trays of food for people who had worked late, at the office, of course. We didn't have set working hours, other than 80 hours plus. The typical Silicon Valley company. We killed, in a variety of senses. Major bugs? Sure, we had them. Burnout rock stars? Oh boy. Yeah, we had burnout rock stars. Did I lose myself at work? Not appreciate what I should have been appreciating? Heck yeah. I was a success. And I made my investors a success. And my employees, too. And if my employees wouldn't recover, because a lot would burn out, I could always hire more. Now, some sentimental rock stars, would leave because their desire for the rest of their life mattered more to them than being a rock star. Thankfully, I had friends in low places, people who'd work without breaks, who'd heroically quash bugs at any hour, who'd support my Silicon Valley development ways. Join me, and together we'll rule as boss and employee. And sit atop of the development world. With grit and moxie, indeed, I bought that for more than $1. So between 1999, at the Stockmaster, to 2001, with the industry standard, from 2003 with Fannie Mae to 2012 with Snapfish, I kept my best practices going. Slave driver, put away the encouragement whip and break out the cruel whip. Ruh-roh. What do you want, bad impersonation of the dog from Marley and Me? You haven't learned nothing. I'd be sending you a 5th ghost now. Whatever, Marley. Wait, why are you putting ghosts in quotes? And you're a dog. How do you even have fingers to make air quotes? Row, next ghost. He's still alive. Oh, okay. Picture it, Snapfish, 2012. I get authorization to bring a project to Pivotal Labs. They did things differently. So I inquire with the main cheese, Rob Me. Rob, how do you make your garden grow? And he told me.
I think that people are making two fundamental mistakes in their hiring, in their mindset.
What's that?
Number one is they're looking for specific skills. And of course, this is very traditional. Job ads go out, and people look for keywords, and it says, must have 3 years of Ruby and 2 years of JavaScript, and whatever. Okay.
I knew mistake number one, right? Instead of looking for a good engineer, people will look for a multi-prefix developer, right? We're looking for a Node.js, front-end, SaaS developer, blah, blah, blah. Giant pet peeve for me. I really despise the underscore language engineer. In fact, say underscore language engineering one more time. What's the next mistake?
None of that matters. I think you should just hire for aptitude. And then, you can learn whatever you need to learn. So a good programmer can program in any language, especially if you have a very collaborative environment like we have where you're pairing and keep going to speed, right? So who cares?
Cool. This guy, Rob, is so far tip-top. Basically proving my point that giant horse-powered rockstar ninjas was all you need. What's next, Rob?
The second thing is they're often looking for this sort of mythical ninja, rock star, 10x, your average developer productivity thing.
Wait, that's not how I do it. What was the second mistake again?
The second thing is they're often looking for this sort of mythical ninja, rock star, 10x, your average developer productivity thing.
Yeah. Wait, so you're calling my hiring of rock stars silly?
That is very silly in my mind.
All right. Sorry. Maybe you tell me that one more time?
That is very silly in my mind.
Great. Okay, you have issues now, Rob. You were here, now you're here, right? I've successfully deployed these heroes. Sure, occasionally they're not team players. But prima donnas are worth the price, aren't they? I'll try and keep listening. Go on, Rob. What else?
I think that people are very hard to find. It's hard to really know if you've got anything, even if you did, are they really a team player? Are they going to help you? Because software is a team sport. It's just a fact.
That one kind of hurt. I actually knew this. If you can't work as a team, right, you can run into problems. So what he's saying is starting to make a little bit of sense, but that one kind of stung. Maybe I should listen more. Well, okay, what else? Are there any bonus mistakes here, Rob?
Which, of course, is also something in Silicon Valley that's people are messing up all the time. They think that you got to have the lone hacker at 2 a.m. drinking Joel Cola and eating pizza and wearing headphones. That's the way you build Twitter or something, right?
Ah, geez. All these people eating pizza, too. Gee, seems like maybe I have something to learn here at Pivotal Labs. I'd kind of like to understand, the way you're doing it here. Is it possible for me to get this sort of energy so I can punch through development the right way? Oh, Troy. Nothing like that. You just need to do one thing. Shut the fuck up. So, I suspended my disbelief, shut my mouth, and saw how Pivotal Labs did it. And after a year and a half at Labs with Snapfish, I found a new way to do development. And of course, after I learned what I could at Labs, he reappeared. You're like, who's he? Rue, get it now? I think so. The ghosts were talking about me. That stuff Agatha Christie said, where you can madly do whatever for a while and have it seem practical, but it won't work in the end. She was referring to me. I was the logical madman. My illusion was that my development method was sustainable or good. In the end, we were riddled with bugs, superheroic feats, binge and purge development cycles, trying to code a million things when we didn't have the team to scale that big. It was either hire more people, but instead we burnt people out. Oh, yeah. Well, what I thought about common sense, right? Common sense is not so common. Yeah, I remember. My illusion was that my development method was good. I believed what I was doing was common sense, when it's clear I was doing it incorrectly. Okay. All this stuff Oscar Wilde said, right, about one's mistakes. I get it. But I hated learning that lesson. And over my year and a half at Labs, sure, I missed my roadmap dates. I'd violate the golden triangle. I would try and pick 3. I'd burn out my heroes. And I'd punish those who didn't deliver what I exactingly prescribed. It was harsh to learn that there is a way to actually fail fast. And you can go faster without presupposing things and still deliver with high quality and fast. Especially when aiming the team to a clear goal. The quote from Patton helped: never tell people how to do things, tell them what to do, and they'll surprise you with their ingenuity. I was punishing people for going fast their own way, not a way I dictated. The Mario Andretti quote is another good one. If everything seems under control, you're not going fast enough. Just as you'd never ask a chess player where their 25th move would be, because it always depends, better to state a clear vision, educate your team as to your true hypothesis, and let them go as fast as possible. Pivotal Labs showed me how. Teams will err. Assumptions will be wrong. Validating with the customer will prove you picked wrong. Failure isn't bad unless recovery is slow. I think you got it. Common sense will nearly always stand you in better stead than a slavish adherence to the conventions. Yeah, I know. Another brutal lesson. having an agile checklist is just checking boxes. So many teams doing safe or doing some other whatever, agile, scrum, whatever, checking boxes and claiming they're agile. That's a slavish adherence to conventions, ignoring the spirit of what was there. So as Marley floated away, I realized I learned a thing at Labs. Thanks, Marley, Bob, Rob. But could I embody these lessons into my work going forward? Dun dun! Part 2. That was part 1, in case you were wondering. Part 2, software carol goes caroling. Pivotal Labs wasn't my only tutelage, but now I had to incorporate these learnings. And I decided to find a superhero spirit amalgam in which to incorporate these learnings. The spirit had to be funny and a bit dark, right? Like Peter Sellers. The spirit had to be a servant of the people, like a maid. The spirit should also have phenomenal cosmic powers. Now, if you're familiar with the terms from Aladdin, phenomenal cosmic powers. So that wasn't for me. Not for me. Bad, bad, bad. My phenomenal cosmic powers superhero I chose, therefore, was Dr. Strange. So, this amalgam became, of course, Dr. Strangebean. Troy. Yeah, we're looking at your LinkedIn profile here. We seriously don't understand what's up with this main thing. Well, there's more to it, as you might imagine. I have a bias. I solve what some in the industry would call a bottoms-up approach. Bottoms up is in contrast to tops down. So imagine an organization. It's like, here's a church, here's a steeple. Look at all the people. Where are the people? Oh, there they are. Okay. Top down solves for the CEO first. Bottom up solves for the employee first. Both approaches work. Seen it done both ways. But my bias is to solve employee first. My job is to ensure my employees can do their work. It doesn't mean I'm not aligning them to the CEO. That's my job. But directionality matters a lot. That's my bias. Happy people make my job easier. Align your employees' lives with your mission. And yes, they'll all solve differently. Everyone's not the same. Aligning them all to the North Star is difficult. And you'll absolutely get it mostly wrong, but that's okay, as we learned from Oscar. Solving employee first makes a noticeable difference. Everyone can tell the difference between genuine and ingenuine, just like in Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire really cares. Bob Sugar doesn't really care. So for the maid spirit, there are 3 maids to emulate. So let's hear from maid 1.
You save the world, it always manages to get back in jeopardy again. I mean, sometimes I just want it to stay saved, you know, for a little bit. I feel like the maid. I just cleaned up this mess. Can we keep it clean for 10 minutes?
Hey, you get to that point. Wait,
Please?
don't get up there.
Mr. Incredible, for those of you who don't know. He realizes 3 things by the tone and his words. He realizes the same messes happen again and again. Messes in their cleaning are frustrating. Asking people to be responsible for their own mess isn't a likely outcome. But that's maid 1. Let's hear from maid 2.
You are the father of Jane and Michael Banks, are you not? I said you are the father of Jane and Michael Banks.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, you brought your references, I presume. May I see them?
Oh, I make it a point never to give references. A very old-fashioned idea to my mind.
Is that so? We'll have to see about that then, won't we?
Now then, the qualifications. Item 1, a cheery disposition. I am never cross. Item 2, rosy cheeks. Obviously. Item 3, play games all sorts. Well, I'm sure the children will find my games extremely diverting.
This paper, where did you get it from? I thought I tore it up.
Excuse me. Item 4, You must be kind. I am kind, but extremely firm.
Mary Poppins. So, these are her 4 points, right? Cheery disposition, try and be cheery. Rosy cheeks, I don't really have rosy cheeks, but we'll let that one slide. Play games, all sorts, obviously. Kind but extremely firm. Well, we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So if you're truly solving for people's lives, Mary Poppins' advice is don't be an ass. People are engaged when things are fun. Work is hard enough if there's no joy. She's kind but firm. This is a stickler. You're going to solve for people, bottoms up. And they're not even trying to go on the ride with you. Call it off, right? I wish I was never cross and always loved by my employees. But sometimes I think people see me differently. More like Maid 3. So let's take a look and see what's going on with Maid 3.
Come quietly or there will be trouble.
RoboCop. I don't disagree with his approach at all. He enters a new situation, right? And to the new employees who are meeting this new exec, it's like he's busting down the door. Employees are not sure what to make of this newcomer. But in reality, what does he do first? He assesses the situation. He just doesn't step in and act in a new culture. He assesses things first, right? And then next, he makes a very friendly entry.
Come quietly.
Come quietly. Following the employee first mindset. RoboCop prefers people follow him as their new leader. There will always be some resistance to change, right? If you're pouring your soul into making your employees' lives better, and you don't want to invest in people who won't reciprocate even a little, RoboCop, in an abundance of care and clarity, follows this simple entreaty with potential consequence for those who may not want to participate.
Come quietly or there will be trouble.
From there, things didn't turn out so well for those who didn't come along. But like Mary Poppins, he was kind but firm. Now, if things didn't get a little messy there, things did get a little messy there, even for RoboCop. And I've been lucky that sometimes everyone jumps on board with the new way. And I can assure you that's not always the case. And even following the best practices, right? Join a new org, but you're perceived as busting down the door, you're assessing strengths and weaknesses, offer people to come on board, and only then invest or not, right, in these people. But people resist, right? Another good lesson from RoboCop, though, that everyone should pay attention to is in a role like mine, is you're not the ultimate boss, right? Even a maid can only go so far.
You are under arrest.
On what charge?
Aiding and abetting a known felon.
Sounds like I'm in a lot of trouble.
You better take me in.
I will.
Oh, poor RoboCop. If your job is the maid, you need to know what Directive 4 is. You're of little value to your employees if you're no longer employed. It's a very difficult job, right? So on this one hand, you have to keep your job. Directive 4, keep your job. You're also trying to transform an org from its old practices, right, to a way you know is better. Is a very, 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 very difficult situation to be in. And people will believe it cannot be done. Your boss won't believe. Employees won't believe. Everyone is interested in changing. Everyone's interested in changing. If you will make the necessary investment. Okay. So there are a lot of practices now, all right? We gotta jumble all this, right? There's the pivotal way, there's the made way, there's the general business way, but what's the proper amalgamated way? What's the proper Dr. Strange-Maid's way? So I break it into 4 question words. Who, why, what, and how. These are the keys to doing good product development. Who, let's start there, as per my bias, follows an employee-first methodology, right? Bottoms up. So who is critical to your success? You've heard the expression, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Don't believe me? I say we go to the lie detector and ask. Lie detector, does culture eat strategy for breakfast?
Your test determined you're telling the truth.
Yes! Proof, right there, from the lie detector. I'm thankful for that, actually. Especially since I got my first master's in anthropology. You know, I'd hear the snide things. What are you going to do with an anthropology degree, try? Now I have a great answer. Ha! I will eat strategy for breakfast. So when someone takes one of those fluffy degrees, maybe your friend, a child, etc., if it helps them figure out humans better, religious studies, art history, philosophy, or linguistics, my initial degree, don't remark, what are you going to do with that degree? Say, oh, cool, your educated understanding of people and culture will allow you to eat strategy for breakfast. Okay, back to it. Another important who lesson. People are crazy. Everyone. Not you people. But everyone is nuts, right? Even the sane people are crazy. And it's not just the nuts people. And you know who I'm talking about. It's like these guys who like climb on top of the tallest skyscraper in Shanghai. And it's like at the very top of the skyscraper, there's this vertical crane that's going off even taller than that skyscraper. And they have no net, no wire. They're just standing out there with their GoPros. It's that's the nuts that you normally think about. But if you don't start with this idea that people are crazy, you're really not understanding why culture eats strategy for breakfast. You're crazy, your boss is crazy, not my boss, of course. Your colleagues, he's not here, is he? Your colleagues are crazy, of course not my colleagues. If you don't start with this principle, management is not for you. Sure, you can fake it for a while. As Agatha said, some people can go a long time as a successful madman. But if you really want to stick the landing with who, and I mean like really stick the landing, yeah! Understanding people are crazy is the starting point. So way back in 2003, my boss's boss, or was it my boss's boss's boss, or was it my boss's 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 boss? A little side note, when you're in an org like this and there's multiple levels of management, a fledgling but brilliant engineer on my team, came up with this great idea. It was a shortcut for boss to the end. So instead of boss's 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 boss or boss's boss or anything like that, I now say things like grand boss or great grand boss or great great grand boss. So that engineer was on our team. So where was I? So my great great grand boss ensures every employee has a book on their desk. Good to great. Good to great chronicles how great companies operate better than good companies. And of course, great great grand boss was the CEO of one of the great companies. Maybe you've heard of Fannie Mae. Maybe you heard they had a little bit of trouble, which at the time had other great company peers like Circuit City also had trouble. So let's say the companies didn't all pan out. The wisdom from the book, I believe, holds true, however. First who? Oh yeah, that's speaking to me. Get the right people on the bus, get the wrong people off the bus. It sounds so incredibly simple. Until you have a really smart, performing person who's a real jerk. The book says, yes, get rid of the jerk. And I agree. Oh well. Don't get to hear that. All right, time and again, not firing the jerk has bitten me in the arse. Wrong people drive away right people. So get who right, and you've won half the battle. Another lesson. If you don't scale, I can try and get in 40 hours a day, but despite my namesake, I am not Doctor Strange. I do not have multiple arms and scale into multiple versions of myself. I do not scale. And because I don't scale, the only way one scales through is through who? Relying on heroes who also don't scale ultimately wears down your hero. And you may be familiar with the story of one of these heroes, the Giving Tree. Right? So goes through the book, gives up everything for the boy. Boy eventually cuts down the trunk and sails away. And at the end, he can only sit on the stump because he's worn this hero down to a stump. Right? And your heroes are like giving trees. It's their brand of crazy. They'll sacrifice themselves until you're both stumped. Don't kill your heroes. Right? They can't be heroic when dead. Now, one place where I disagree with Good to Great is their full quote, which is, first who, then what? I disagree, as you saw earlier. First who, then why? Right? Why is crucial. What comes after who and why? Why is why so important? Anyone want to guess? Because of who? Duh. Remember, you don't scale. You don't scale. You don't scale. And if you don't scale, because you don't, and you're reliant on good people, they need to know which way to go. I worked at a company once where on my first day, my boss in front of an entire audience started talking about 3 North Stars.
Yeesh.
Yeesh is right. So here I am, my first day at this company, all hands. My boss is out there talking about 3 North Stars. So you can imagine, danger Will Robinson is going through my head because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you know, my job as the maid is to be that gal or guy or whatever gender who gets to tell the emperor, you have no clothes. Danger. Not good. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I know about Directive 4 already, and it's a real danger, and it's classified, so I don't even know what it is. I don't know what I can do and I can't do. So when you have to tell your boss, there ain't no 3 North Stars in front of the entire company, on day 1, get rejected with your new guy card, gets like immediately pulled. Well, but this is why. Imagine an elite unit without an objective. Navy SEALs, for instance, are one of the best operational units in the US military. I can assure you, if they have 3 North Stars, they'll be worthless. Just like teams at Pivotal Labs. They can take you from good to great, but if you don't have a good vision and strategy, they'll go really fast the wrong way. Everyone needs to know what you're trying to solve for. Or even good people cannot scale well. No clear vision, no simple strategy, no hypothesis, 3 North Stars. You've got a superhero like knock those things out, just like my friends here. Maybe my friends will. Come on, friends. There we go. Right? They're out there knocking out those 3 North Stars and getting to 1. So knock out why and you empower who. The key to knowing if you have a good strategy is if you can do what Dr. Scott McEwen says. Verbalize, visualize, mathematize. Verbalize, can you say what your strategy is? A lot of times that's not the case. Visualize, can you depict what your strategy is? And then mathematize. Now you're probably wondering what this is, and it's probably new to most of you. But can you depict your strategy as an equation? It's clearly stating your hypothesis in math terms or financial terms, right? Every time we get a new customer, we get $2 in profit. Every 20 customers, we cover our fixed costs. If your hypothesis pencils financially, you have a robust way of articulating your strategy to your troops. Mathematize, it doesn't have to be difficult or cumbersome at first. You can make it as difficult as you'd like it to be, right? So for instance, you could verbalize something like this. Profit from first-time customers equals profit per customer minus the cost of acquiring the customer summed across all customer segments with lots of details underneath. That's what mathematized could look like, or it could look like that. But you don't have to have it so complicated. As they say, or as he says, what people say he said, make your explanation as simple as possible, but no simpler. That's not what he actually said. What he actually says is this, but don't read it. Smart who's always want to know the hypothesis. Smart who's will always ask,
What's your offer?
what's your offer? Start with why. In fact, there's a book, bestseller, Start with Why. Yet, most companies don't start with why. I don't know why. Okay, so got who and why figured out? Time to build something. That's what. What is your product? And as far as product development consigliaries go, Pivotal Labs is a great choice. But why? In my estimation, Pivotal Labs does a good job covering the basics. Coming at what from a perspective of design thinking and scoping before acting, their two methods here are discovery and framing and scoping and inception. Bonafide great practices you want at the start of any product development kickoff. And without boring you of how to do DNFs, Pivotal will gladly sell you how. Here's a glimpse, right? Don't copy this down. Don't take pictures. It's on the website. But Troy, come on. That's not a very compelling why Pivotal. Well, I'll tell you. It's like going for brain surgery, right? Would you go with someone who did a spectacular job for you before? Or would you try and find someone cheaper? There's so much cheaper people out there. Moreover, remember the priority order. Solve for who first, right? Give a fish to someone and they'll eat for a day. Teach someone to fish and they'll eat for their entire lifetime. That's been gender neutralized. Pivotal teaches your team how to fish. Another old parable to keep in mind. Boss, what if we train our employees and they leave? What if we don't train them and they stay? Once you figured out who is on the bus, invest in them. The wonderful thing about Pivotal Labs is they teach you how to fish in all kinds of waters, whether it's lean product management, they'll teach you how to do it. User-centered design, Pivotal will train you up. CI/CD, one could say it's their thing. But more importantly, train you how to make it your thing. So, quick before and after. Before Pivotal, let's say a UX person, hypothetically, I won't name names, Helga. Our clients need a spreadsheet with 6 columns and these fields. Now, after Pivotal, a client told me they need a spreadsheet with 6 columns in these fields. As I looked into why they need that, they were looking to summarize tables to understand their markets. When I asked if these tables summarize the market for them well, they said it was a lot of trouble. Client then said if everything computed per my liking and got a green versus red indicator instead, I wouldn't need the spreadsheets or the fields. Less work. Unlocked. Solving the right thing. It's just one of a dozen benefits. Having a repeatable, trustable process for a better practice of what makes Pivotal Labs methodology excellent for what. Moreover, Pivotal Labs does this repeatedly, consistently, and with excellence. It teaches your team to fish. It's the greatest gift you can give to your employees. And the greatest gift you can give yourself as their manager. Solving for who and what at the same time. That's why Pivotal. So that's who, why, and what. So there you have it. Thanks for coming. Oh wait, there's more.
There's more.
Just like a Ginsu knife. Ah yes, how. As Yoda would say, how did I forget? Let's review first. The first 3, who, why, and what. Right? Get the right people on board, verbalize, visualize, mathematize your strategy, discover and scope the product the right way. Who, why, and what. So how's how? Yes, how is awesome. But we're here to talk about this how. My method for how is extreme programming. First, what is extreme programming? As the cool kids say, XP. Some principles. Collocation, right? You want to have people operating in the same space. Pair programming. Test-driven development. And these are just a few of the tenets for you to enjoy. I could do another 600 slides. I'm on slide 673 right now. On the following. There's no better way to get readable code, real-time code reviews, higher bus count, and better rotations, among other benefits. So feel free to ask me more later. Coupled with small story backlog management, through skilled product ownership and coordination with design, you get a most magnificent concoction, quality at velocity. Aristotle said it best, but Mary Poppins said it more famously. Well begun is half done. Quality caught earliest is cheapest. Pivotal is where you can go to teach your product design and engineering team to learn to fish with quality at velocity in a repeatable way. But how to measure success? Key metric of team health for me is the thing that you want to measure. It's not lines of code, it's not story points, it's not any other possibly gamed metric. Key metric is how many meetings, emails, sign-offs, check-ins, blessings are required to get something out the door. And what's the quality of the product that results? That's how. So why are we here today? Part 3, a Spins Carol. Our adventure at Labs with Spins. So we're fortunate to have a CEO who gives a very robust why. Tony will talk for hours about why. I've been working hard to get who right. But with a new company without what I'd consider best practices of what and how, we had our work cut out for us. We had a couple of projects at Spins that needed to get built quickly and robustly, but we also had to train our folks in what and how. And in very short order, we delivered, in less than 4 months, a responsive visualization engine with tables, map, charts, and histograms, site compliant with accessibility guidelines, search and faceted navigation, and security and login. These are all first for Spins. But that wasn't all. What we also got was a best practice for what and how, imbued into our people, which we can now apply on other projects not in labs, which is actually happening. While we got a ton of what in a successful product that delivered fast and with quality, we accomplished the objective of delivering quality at velocity. We also trained our who's, how to do things the right way, with wins across. You can't ask for more than that. But now a warning.
Now a warning?
Going to labs is like going to camp. Don't leave the great experience at labs. So how to bring that feeling and practice back from labs? Let's just say it's not easy. People back home will revolt. The body's natural reaction to anything foreign is antibodies.
Antibodies.
That's the key. You gotta help against the antibodies. As the exec in charge, you must defend the practice coming back. Partially because you can't take your whole team to Pivotal Labs. But almost more importantly, you need to know how to graft this branch back in. Growing the team organically is a best practice. A small team trained at labs comes back and trains their pairs. As a result, it can take a long time to propagate. That's a lot of defense over a long period of time. Not that simple. But the bad practices, in fact, are much easier to propagate. Undoing bad practices is tremendously difficult. For me, the easiest way to bring back Pivotal's best practices is to follow the program exactly as we had it at labs. Why? Well, let's see how easy it is to slide into best practices, or bad practices. How easy it is to slide into bad practices. Ooh, so easy. And smooth. Remember your metrics. How many meetings, emails, sign-offs, check-ins, blessings are required to get something out the door? And what's the quality of the product that results? Note all the dumb things in front of that metric. Meetings, emails, sign-off, check-ins, blessings. Some are necessary. But your quality of velocity is hurt when those things are unnecessary. Unnecessary is a killer at most companies. Cannot reiterate enough. Your who job is job one. Eliminate barriers from your team delivering. Ensure that they have training to do it the right way. Prune and graft well. Never make your team do stupid things. Right, but if the boss says to do stupid things, do stupid things. Not doing dumb things is tantamount to a best practice. People spend their lives at work. I take that seriously. I respect their lives. I care about their lives. You work for your team. Yes. In some ways, it's the other way around. I am your boss. If you support them, though, they will support you. So kill as many dumb things as possible. Things like process for the sake of process, unnecessary bureaucracy, unnecessary meetings, meetings about meetings, presentations about meetings, ritual for no purpose, giant speeches and ceremony for no point, secrets that don't need to be kept. It's in red. Pay attention. Disclaimer. Following satire of many businesses' processes is not for the weak constitution. If you have no stomach for satire about unnecessary pomp and ceremony, I suggest you leave right now. Please avert your eyes until the clip is finished. Thank you.
Cheb, it's your day to take out the trash. Can you do it?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Cool.
Nay!
Hey, Casey.
Don't touch a thing.
Oh, dude, Casey, what are you doing, dude? He's about to take out the trash.
Do not touch the rubbish.
Okay.
Dude.
When have I seen you?
He's your roommate, dude.
I'm your roommate. All right, are you...
Down. On your knees.
Why?
Down.
Okay, all right.
Dude, this is absurd. What are you doing? He's trying to fucking take out...
Do not speak unless spoken to.
I don't even know. It's his day, dude.
Oh, la ka, lo la sunatu.
Did you just cast a spell on me, dude?
You tell me, how do your lips feel?
They feel a little bit chapped. Oh, shit.
Exactly.
My lips feel chapped, too.
Shh.
Okay.
Funny little boy.
Oh.
So pretty.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It is such a shame to ruin with words.
Oh, thanks.
What the heck? Whoa, Blake.
I can't, dude. He chapped my lips.
You love your king, yes.
Yeah.
Do you do anything for me?
Yes, of course. Yeah, sure.
This rubbish. No one likes being dirty.
No.
I didn't.
When the castle's dirty, no one's happy.
No way.
This is crazy.
If there was only some way that we could all pitch in, you know.
Yeah, totally. Love to help. Yeah.
But nothing's coming to mind.
I don't know. What do you want?
You know damn well what I mean!
Oh, okay. No, I don't. What do you want me to do? I'll do whatever.
Don't
Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me!
Oh, wow.
Blake, what is he doing?
He's doing some dope shit right now, dude.
Is he gonna hurt me?
No, it's pretty cool, though, dude, whatever it is. It's pretty sick, whatever it is that he's doing, dude.
You want to sing out on anything?
Maybe. It's like a modified two-step.
I'm kind of bored. Can I look up now?
Don't look.
Okay.
Wow, dude.
Don't look, you're looking.
It's like he has an agreement with gravity. Oh, wow.
I promise.
You may look.
Okay, again!
I took the trash out 7 moons ago. He took the trash out a fortnight ago.
That's 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks. It's your goddamn turn to take the motherfucking trash out.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay. Yeah.
You see how easy that was?
He was actually just gonna do it, dude. That was, pretty much a big waste of
Nay,
time.
double nay. He was not going to do it. Somebody's got to step up and tell the boy how to live.
Okay.
What's not funny at all is that clip's circumvention of efficiency is tons more efficient than some organizations' actual processes. It may seem like some stoners making a rad comedy, but it's actually a biting satire. Maybe not intentionally. I've seen much worse at companies. Anything stupid that gets in your employee's way, you must quash. Like a boss, you have to be ready to act quickly on bad practices. Like this guy. Right? They come up all the time. Undoing bad practices is tremendously difficult. How difficult? The most confused you'll ever get is when you try and convince your heart and spirit of something your mind knows is a lie. This is what you're confronting. People want progress, but they don't want change. Knowing what's right and doing what's right are very different things. Even your good people won't believe it. You have to break them of their disbelief in themselves. Just like this guy did here.
The Oracle. She told me.
She told you exactly what you needed to hear. That's all. Neo, sooner or later you're going to realize, just as I did, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path.
Knowing the path, walking the path. You're fighting this daily, even with the right people on board. Another reason why you don't invest in wrong who's, and note there are no wrong people, it's just maybe they're wrong for you or your style or what you're trying to accomplish. Even with the right people, it can be hard. To keep the whole thing from going to pot, sometimes you just want to run away to Oregon.
It's what gets inside you. It's what lights you up. You can't deny that.
It just got too hard.
It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great.
Right? The struggle to put what and how in place is very hard. The right people on the bus deserve this investment. They deserve your sacrifice. The contractor you hire to teach your team how to fish, they're worth every penny because doing it wrong costs so much more. If you make the sacrifice to do things right, if you fight not to have people do stupid things, if you fight for true common sense, you'll make a difference in people's lives. Work is where most people spend most of their waking lives. People want to be efficient. They want to matter. Give people the ability to be their best, and they'll appreciate it. And in the end, the company will appreciate it. I wish you luck.
Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
Just one little more bit.
You're still here. Go away. It's over. It's over.
Troy came in a few years ago after he did so much work with us in San Francisco, and I want to personally thank Troy for being not only the business, but for being a very good example of what a last customer looks like. In a quick anecdote, Troy's not one to just preach practices a lot. And one of the favorite things is he had an engagement here, and I remember him bringing an initial set of developers in here, and a few weeks later, they were gone. And Troy, literally, he gauged them, and he found out they were not interested in kind of going down the labs route, which we get a lot. And Troy actually had them replaced, according to his last slides, for people who were definitely vested in what he wanted to do. So a lot of what he talks about, he's actually put in place. And on a personal level, I mean, the guy's as lovable, as fun, and as he presented here, but he embodies exactly how we operate as well. So Troy, a big thank you for all the business you've given us over the years and the constant evangelism you do on behalf of the Labs approach. So appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
online. Any questions? Yeah, Hannah.
Did Rob sign a video release for that pocket?
No, he did not. But you did see him looking at the camera, so he was filming him. So that was 7 years ago.
Paired with Edward, too, right?
That's right. Yeah, Edward was my CL. So I've gone from Edward to Tony. It's pretty awesome.
Tony here. Did he please tell me your
That's fine.
Show me yours off.
Any other questions?
So Troy, if you and the team want to do the ceremonial cake cutting?
Okay, yeah.
Picture.
So, wait. So picture with the cake?
Yes.
With the team?
Yes.
Okay. So please, team.